Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session. Maybe we'll just wait for a minute or two to so that remaining of the students can join us.
I think it may be best to start now, Chandni. So I think there may be more people joining as we go along through the presentation.
Yes, that's perfect. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining this session. A warm welcome to all of you. Today, we are presenting the webinar on International Foundation Program of Canterbury Christ Church University. With me, I have some of our esteemed colleagues, Mohammed Ali, Associate Director of Recruitment from InUni, Martin Spire, who is the Course Director of International Foundation Program from Canterbury Christ Church University. Ankita and Neha are supporting me for hosting this webinar. Excitingly, we have Kay, who is an international student pursuing International Foundation Program and is here with us to share all her experiences, and I'm waiting to hear from her, definitely. All right, so, before we start, some housekeeping rules. Please keep your mobile and audio off so that there is no disturbance. We are going to record this session, so make sure that if you want to ask the question and answers, if you do not wish to appear on the screen, please do keep your camera off. You can anytime keep your or put your questions in the question and answer section, and we are going to answer all your questions by the end of the session. All right, so we are starting now. Over to you, Martin.
Thank you, Chandni. My name is Martin Spear, and I'm the course director for the International Foundation Program. And I'd just like first to give you some background on where we are in the UK. So Canterbury is situated in Kent, which is in the southeast of England. Kent is known as the Garden of England. And I want to just highlight a few of the transport links in Canterbury. So as you can see here, Canterbury is not far at all from the centre of London. So by high-speed train, we're looking at a 55-minute journey from the centre of London into the heart of Canterbury. As you can see here also, Heathrow Airport is about a 2-hour car journey, and Gatwick Airport is about a 90-minute car journey from those airports to the centre of Canterbury. I hope you've got a passion for the sea. One of the things that I love about living in Canterbury is just how close we are to the coast. So to the north of Canterbury, we've got Whitstable, which is famous for its oysters, and that's about 20 minutes by bus. To the south, we've got Dover, and Dover is famous for its white cliffs, which is an icon of the UK, these white cliffs of Dover. And my personal favourite towards the east is Margate. I've lived in Kent all my life. I was born in London, but I've been living in Canterbury since I was a child. So I'm very close to the city, extremely fond of the city. And another benefit of living in the southeast is Europe is so close. So it's a 90-minute journey by boat to cross the Channel to France. Even faster by train. There's the Eurotunnel, so you can be in France in 30 minutes. So the location for Canterbury is, I think, ideal for those that want to see a bit of Europe, but also be close to a city like London. So let's consider Canterbury now. Canterbury is a very old city, and there are kind of gardens and old buildings, particularly in the old town. So here on the left, we've got the Westgate Towers, which has kind of beautiful gardens nearby, and the River Stour runs through the city. And on the right, there's an example of some of the old architecture that you'll find as you explore the old town. There are modern elements. There's a new shopping quarter within the city walls. And right now, there's a new student quarter being built as I speak to the east of the city, which will include shops and cinemas, as well as student housing. If you're into the arts, there's the new Marlow Theatre, and some of the most famous actors and comedians will be coming to Canterbury to perform at the stage there. If you're a fan of cricket, Canterbury is the home to the Kent Spitfires, and they play at the St Lawrence ground, which is to the south of the city, about a 15-minute walk from Canterbury Christ Church University. And currently the Kent Spitfires are the T20 champions. That's the kind of short form of the game. And if you were to go to St Lawrence Cricket Ground, they often have those day-night games with the kind of razzmatazz of those kind of T20 matches, as well as the long form, you know, the 4-day first class games. And if you're lucky, the St Lawrence ground, well, Kent often host traveling tour teams. So for example, if Australia were playing the Ashes in the summer, often Australia will play a warm-up game or a practice game with Kent, so you can get to see some of the world's best teams in Canterbury as well. But the one building which dominates the landscape of Canterbury is the cathedral. No other building in Canterbury is allowed to compete with the height of the cathedral. So the cathedral kind of proudly sits above the rooftops and dominates the landscape. I particularly like visiting the cathedral at night. It looks beautiful at night, the way it's lit up. And it's only a short walk from the university itself. So a little bit of more background on the history and why we're so proud of the cathedral. It's the cathedral is one of 3 buildings which was granted World Heritage status. So we've got the cathedral, we've got St. Martin's Church, which is the oldest church in England. And again, that's only a very short walk from the Canterbury campus. In fact, there's been recent building developments at Canterbury Christ Church, and you can see from St. Martin's Church through the buildings of Canterbury Christ Church University, the cathedral in the distance. And the third building is St. Augustine's Abbey, which is when St. Augustine was sent from Rome, he brought Christianity to the UK, and the Abbey was built in his honor. So the grounds of the Abbey itself are actually part of the Christ Church campus. As you walk around the campus, you'll find areas where the old Abbey walls used to be. So Christ Church itself was built in 1962. It was originally a teacher training site. It was built in response to a shortage of teachers in the UK. And next year, in 2022, it will be the 60th anniversary of the campus. So there'll be kind of special events to celebrate that achievement. And this year, the Verena Holmes building, which is the university's new £65 million building, was opened. And that's home to engineering, technology, design, health and well-being, law, psychology, sports science, and medicine. And you can see in the picture at the bottom right here, it's a kind of huge complex, and it's all fitted out with all the material and equipment that students would need to study those subjects. One thing that we are quite proud of in Canterbury is the fact that Canterbury is such a safe student city. The Complete University Guide, they look at the data of crime statistics and work out which are the safest university towns and cities in the UK. And Canterbury is consistently up in the top 10. In fact, incredibly, statistically, Canterbury is a safer city than Cambridge. Okay, and of course, it's a lot safer place to be than somewhere like Manchester or Liverpool. So we're quite proud of that. In the picture on the left here, behind the three students, you can see Augustine House, and that's the university's library. So all the books you'll need for your course will be in that building. So a little bit about student life at Canterbury Christ Church University. The St. George's Centre, and you can see the images of the St. George's Centre to the left here. It's a mix of like a bar, coffee shop. It's just kind of a place for students to meet. It's home to the Christ Church Students' Union, and events organised by the Students' Union will be held there. It's often a meeting place for the different student societies that you can join as well. Every year there's a Freshers Week. Fresher means like a new student. And it's a chance for new students to join the different societies which students have created themselves. And by society, I mean club. So if you've got an interest in drama, an interest in politics, I always recommend foundation program students to get involved and join a society, because I can help you with your academic English. I can help you with your awareness of the requirements of studying on your degree. But where you will really make friends, where you will really improve your day-to-day English will be getting involved in student societies. And as you can see here, even if you're a fan of Harry Potter, there's a society there for you to meet like-minded people and widen your circle of friends. So I really, would always encourage students to get involved in a student society. There's also student societies in terms of sports. So if hockey is your game, there's a very successful Christchurch hockey team. They'll do their training at the sports centre and will play their games at the polo farm, which is a short car journey from Christchurch. And we've got the huge sports hall as well. So if you like going to the gym, there's cheap membership for the sports hall for you as well. In addition to that, the international student ambassadors, they organize welcome events during Welcome Week, which is the week before your classes begin. And again, I would encourage students to get involved there. I've just been sent an email from them actually about the events they are hosting during semester 1. So it's an opportunity also for international students to meet other international students and share their experiences and get to know each other by meeting up for a coffee. And as you can see here, they are organizing online meetings as well. I know that they're doing something soon where they're going to meet up online and watch a film together. So let me focus now on the actual program itself. So the entry criteria is a minimum of IELTS band 4.5 in all of the components, so reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And I'm going to focus first on the modules in semester 1. So there are 2 core modules. These are modules that you have to do, okay? And these are English for University Study 1 and English for University Study 2. And in the face-to-face sessions in the classroom, what we focus on is developing your presentation skills and discussing the topics which follow a presentation. I like to focus on presentations on current affairs. Current affairs means news stories which are happening in the world now. Because I like students to develop an awareness of what's happening around the world. And perhaps more importantly, sometimes with an essay topic, even if you go on to do your year 1 of your chosen degree, it's quite a good idea, I think, to make a connection with your essay topic and what's happening in the world now in terms of the topic you are writing about, because that makes your writing feel more alive. It makes it feel more fresh, more relevant. So that's why I get students looking at what's happening in the world in semester 1 of the International Foundation Program. We do some timed writing. Timed writing is basically getting you used to the pressure of producing an essay in a short amount of time. So in semester 1, we'll look at the structure of an essay, how to create an introduction, the parts that, the elements that you need for a good introduction, We look at paragraph structure, topic sentences, and conclusions. And the idea is that in these timed writing sessions, we give you a topic which you are familiar about or familiar with, and with those topics which may have been discussed in a current affairs presentation. So students will never be surprised by a topic. It will always be something that we have discussed in class. Students then put together what they've discussed and what they've learned in the writing sessions and produce something in the timed writing. Something that we're going to be doing more of now that we are face-to-face and not online is collaborative writing. This is where students come together and work on an essay topic as a group. So the group can share their strengths and work together to produce something. So those are just a few of the elements of the EUS 1 and 2 modules, which we focus on in semester 2. So each semester, you must take 3 modules. So EUS 1, EUS 2 is 2. And the third one is 1 module from either investigating business practices or investigating British life and culture. I must add one little caveat to this. The IFP, the International Foundation Programme, is currently going through a revalidation process. So some things are being rewritten and changed. So some of this might be slightly altered in the next academic year. So let's talk about these 2 modules. So those of you who are planning to do a business-related degree will have this pathway of doing the investigating business practices module, as this is the first step before you go on to do foundation business. So it introduces you to the key concepts and the basic business terminology. Okay. And those of you heading in a more arts direction, whether it be something like social sciences or history, are likely to do the investigating British life and culture module. And this aims to develop an awareness of culture and life in Britain and develop the knowledge and skills necessary to undertake a kind of social science-like investigation into culture. So that's semester 1. In semester 2, we have 1 core module. Again, you must take this module. And that's where we really begin to kind of look closely at academic English. And for this, we do a lot of seminar work, a lot of discussions. So I would give the group a journal article to read, and then we would discuss that journal article in a seminar-like environment. We focus a lot on Cite Them Right. Cite Them Right is a guide to referencing. When you're writing an academic essay, you need to reference your sources. So we do a lot of work on developing your argument in your writing and supporting it with sources from books and journal articles. And then part of the assessment is a poster presentation, which we do as part of academic English. So a poster presentation is students design a poster which investigates a particular subject area, and they must then they create the poster as a group, but individually they present the entire poster in a exhibition-like setting. We have all the posters up around the room, and all the students are presenting at the same time, presenting it to guests who are invited in to observe these mini poster presentations. So we've got in semester 2 one core module, and then you've got a choice of 2 from a range of modules. This can change depending on demand. So if you have like a large group of law students, we would find somebody to run the law module. So this is liable to change. What usually runs is foundation business as a follow-up to those that did investigating business practices in semester 1. And with that, you might want to do English language and communication, or you might want to do foundation social sciences or foundation media. It depends on the degree you're planning to study in September following the International Foundation Program. So foundation business aims to provide an understanding of the world of business. It looks at the different nature of organizations, both public and in the private sector. And you'll be introduced to key business functions such as marketing, human resources, and so on. English language and communication. I just need to move this grid over. Again, this will introduce you to the key methods and debates and forms of analysis in language studies and communication studies. It will consider the part played by elements of the language system and so on. And then we have the oh, sorry, I've made a mistake here. I've got foundation business twice. Sorry. Okay, so the other one is foundation social sciences. That should be there. Foundation social sciences, again, looks at society, sociology. It kind of dips in into topics like, it does touch upon media for 1 week, but then it looks at oh no, it's the title's wrong here. Sorry, it should be foundation social sciences here. So the module aims to introduce students to some of the major themes and perspectives of human behavior and social life. So the description is right, it's the title that's wrong. So my apologies there. And foundation media, that's one of the modules that I look after, and we look at key concepts like narrative, genre, audience, and representation. I tend to use this module as to get students thinking critically about what is presented to them. So even though something like foundation media may not be a direct route to what you're doing, the idea is that it kind of opens your mind to a way of thinking about how texts are presented to you. And my final piece here is really just a tip for any students that are here watching this. I cannot emphasize how important attitude is. And I say that now to the students that are joining the course, because a positive attitude, excellent attendance, and completing all those tasks is going to almost guarantee you success. Okay, they are so important. But above all else, the one thing I would ask you to do is start reading. Okay, that is the key to your success, not only on the IFP, but in year 1, year 2, and year 3 of your chosen future degrees. So yeah, start reading, guys. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much. I think the whole presentation was, I would say, insightful and has given us the complete course detail. I think that the aspiring students are looking for. And
Thank you.
I have just, I think in this 15, 20 minutes, I've done a quick tour of Canterbury, given us a lot of experience, a lot of places to explore for the aspiring international students. So yeah, it was definitely a great, thoughtful session. So we have Kay. I have already introduced Kay. Kay, do you want to, do you want to share your experience to the aspiring students?
Hello. Yes. I was lucky to have my international foundation year, which was last year in Canterbury, Christ Church. And although it was online, all the classes, mostly after a while, so we had some face-to-face as well, but mainly it was online. But the thing I got from the uni, the course was great, and they have had a big impact in my course now. It's helping me to understand more, just being familiar with the English language, also going deep to the details, referencing, as Martin said, for example, citing, and all the needs, all the foundation that we need, it's included in the course. I personally, I have a good experience of that, and I enjoyed every second of being in the foundation year. Also, I found great friends, which are my best friends now. I've been very lucky. And you know the uni better, you will have a wider point of view to the subjects. You will know better your ability to go for your courses, for your chosen courses, and also yeah, being familiar with the atmosphere. Everything is okay, it's great. Yeah, I can say it's been a great experience for me. If it's a specific question, I'll be happy to share my experience if it's needed. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kay. And I think definitely this is definitely going to help our aspiring students. Kay, maybe I have one question for you. While Martin has already shared one tip of advice for all the aspiring students, do you want to share a piece of advice for all the international students who are planning to start their international foundation program, or who are just in the journey to decide something?
As an advice, so when you take your international foundation year, so because we are all like kind of, we're not native English native, and we don't know lots of things. So this year, it helps you to get involved in the uni culture in the UK. It helps you to know the methods for studying, and also they provide us some key factors which are needed for future studying. And if it was my for example, my sister or my friend from my country or wherever else, except UK, because it's not applying for the UK student, obviously. So I would recommend them to take the international foundation course, because it's a step to go into a nice sea.
Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you so much for this piece of advice, and I think this is definitely going to help. And like you said, this first year is crucial and important for the students, and they get to know, they try and get to know everything about the university, get to adjust themselves in the different crowd. They are going to different country. I'm sure that this is going to help the upcoming aspiring students. Okay, so now we shall move to the question and answer session. I can see there are certain questions in the section. Meanwhile, if you have any other questions as well, please feel free to drop in question and answer section, and we will be answering all the questions. If certain questions are not answered, we will be definitely coming back to you. All right, so we will maybe start with the first question. First question is from Sybil. What is the pass average to join a bachelor degree?
Yeah, I mean, you would need to achieve a pass of 40%.
Yeah, so I think that's sort of the standard across the foundation, regardless. And 40%, I mean, I've been recruiting students for, many years for private foundation providers. And in terms of passing, the only students that don't really pass are the ones that don't turn up to class, don't attend, and as Martin says, don't read. So reading, attending, and behaviors are big points on that. 40% is sort of a guaranteed sort of pass rate, as long as the student is attending classes and doing their work on time. So the progression rate is fairly high on that.
All right.
Chandni, I will do the next question as well. So is the foundation year also valid if I change my mind and want to go to another university after completing it? The answer is yes. But again, all universities have their own entry requirements and entry criteria. So if a student for some reason doesn't want to stay at Canterbury, they possibly can. But again, they would need to check with another university. It's the same for any foundation provider. It depends on entry requirements. But, after spending a year at Canterbury, I don't know why a student would want to go anywhere else. We have fantastic support. You'll have student ambassadors on support campus, the lecturers, Martin himself. You'll make a lot of friends over the 12 months. So it would be very rare or surprising that you would want to go anywhere else after your 12 months of being settled in Canterbury. Next question. I don't see how these modules are related to medical students. So foundation isn't sort of related to medical. It's related to help you to get into an undergraduate degree at the university. So it'll help you to improve your English, which is key for you to successfully complete your undergraduate degree. In terms of why has it got a lot of business? Because overall, we're looking for you to improve your English and adding core subjects. I believe Martin might want to expand on this a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that in semester 2, we, as part of the academic English module, we do these poster presentations, and that is something that medical students would do. A poster presentation could be a breakdown of how diabetes attacks the body, or how somebody giving an X-ray needs to follow a certain procedure. So although and some of the topics we do use often do touch upon medical subjects actually on the IFP. But so although it may not seem like it's directly related, they are most certainly indirectly related, because in the work you'll have to produce, you'll have to reference a lot of the tasks, that we get you to do on the IFP will pop up again in terms of even how you give a presentation, what your PowerPoint slides should look like. So although the content may never be exactly the same, but we do give the freedom for students to often create their own topics and to produce their own material based on the information we've given them, the skills we're trying to give them, and then it's up to them to kind of run with that and begin to because often in semester one, I ask students to start reading up, have a look at this book on an introduction to whatever your chosen degree is, and then you can slowly begin to bring over some of those ideas from your reading into some of the work you produce on the IFP. So that begins to start that process of getting you ready for your first session in September of your first year on your undergraduate degree. So I hope that helps.
Brilliant, thank you. So next question, this one's for yourself, Martin. My IELTS score is 5, but I have scored 4.0 in speaking. Can I still be considered for this foundation program?
Well, my understanding is that 4.5 is the minimum in every element. So it would look like another IELTS would need to be taken just to try and get that up to 4.5.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Why is it important to have UKVI IELTS results? For any foundation program below degree level, to be compliant with UKVI, you need to have a UKVI IELTS or a CELT that's recognised by UKVI. So for you can have IELTS or you can have PTE, which needs to be UKVI as well, recognised. It's not that something set by the university, it's something that's set by the government, UKVI, in terms of what they require. So yes, if you're going into degree level and you've got all components above 5.5, you don't need to have a UKVI IELTS. But as soon as you have one component below 5.5, it needs to be a recognised CELT, whether that's IELTS or PTE. How much gap study is accepted? Look, at Canterbury Christ Church University, we haven't set a gap limit. What we will do is we will speak to yourself, the university will speak to yourself, and we will look at your personal statements as well. So if you have got a gap of a year, 2 years, or whatever educational gap you've got, you would need a strong personal statement to explain what you have been doing in that time. It could be you've taken time out to go traveling. It could be you've decided to work and you want to come back into studying. So we would need a strong personal statement on why you want to come back to studying and what you've been doing in that period.
So that question is about the study gap before joining the IFP rather than between the IFP and joining the degree program.
That's right. So if we have somebody from India who finished their secondary school in 2019 and they want to join in 2022, that would be a study gap. So we would need to look at that based on their personal statements and interviews with us in regards to ambitions, why, and how it would benefit you coming back in to education after a 2 or 3 year gap.
Yeah, because there have been instances where some students have completed and passed the IFP, but they've wanted to have like a year's break before they joined up with their degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you please let us know about the deposit amount to be paid? So the deposit amount, I'll answer the next question as well. So the course fee is £14,500. You will, as a student for January, you will receive a £1,500 scholarship, which will then take the overall fees down to £13,000 for the academic year and the academic course. And in terms of deposits needed, for this January, we will need deposit of 75%, which is pretty standard across the foundation providers. We've got a lot of students on here from Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan. It's the sort of normal rate, 70 to 80% that foundation providers provide. Ask for in terms of deposit. So it's 75% of your total fees. What happens after IFP? I would love to study medicine. Martin?
It depends what area of medicine you're planning to study, because some medicine courses would require a higher pass mark than 40%. It really depends on the course you want to study, because if you think about it, if you were planning to be a nurse or a dentist, say, you would need to have, we're looking here, IELTS levels of like 7 or 7.5, because of the nature of the language and understanding that would be involved in that kind of role. So passing the IFP at 40%, would be fine to get on a degree like say something like history or media or a business course, because your IELTS level by the time of the end of the IFP is assumed to be at level IELTS band level 6.0. But for medicine, it could be that they would require a higher pass mark than just that 40%, and possibly may request that you take an IELTS to 7.5 standard.
Yeah,
but it would depend on the course, though.
Yeah, so totally agree. From my experience as well, engineering courses normally require 60% pass rate from other foundation providers. Business has always been the lowest at 40%. So medicine, I've seen medicine foundation courses, and they normally require around 80-85%.
Wow,
as a pass mark. And you're absolutely right there in terms of English. It's normally 7 to 7.5, no less than 6.5 in any of the components for English on that. Okay, so please, what's the tuition estimate for the international foundation year and any likely scholarship? I think we've covered that. So it's £14,500, £1,500 scholarship. So the total fee for your foundation course would be £13,000. Question for Martin. So if I'm really keen to join Canterbury Christ Church University in January, you offer 2 foundation courses, but the second one isn't running, which is for higher level students. If I have an IELTS overall 5.5 and a higher IELTS score, can I still join in January for the 1-year course?
I can't see that question. Where's that one?
It's a question from myself, Martin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, would you mind saying that again for me? Sorry.
Yeah, so at Canterbury Christ Church, we run 2 foundation programs. One requires a slightly higher IELTS English level, but the 1-year foundation program is 4.5 minimum. So if I've got IELTS 5.5, no less than 5.5, could I still join the January intake?
I would need to check on that one. Mohammed, I'm sorry. I would need to kind of check the answer for that one.
Okay, it's just a question that's come from the team, one of my team members.
Mhm.
That I was just putting across. Okay. What's the tuition? We've done that one. Is there any state restrictions for India student? If yes, which is that? Yes, there is. Currently, we do not recruit from Punjab region. It's just a decision that we've made in terms of recruitment and etc. But everywhere else, we do accept students from India. What if one has proficiency in English? Will the person still go for semester 2 English language and communication? If you're coming in for the foundation course and your English is slightly better, you'd still need to do the full course from start to finish on that. So even if you're speaking slightly higher and you have other bands slightly lower, you'd still need to do the full course on that.
Mohammed, can I just add something to Edwin's question there?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the English language and communication module in semester 2, don't confuse that with like an English class. Okay, it's not like a general English class where we go through a English course book like you would at secondary school. The module English language and communication is a much more complex look at the English language in terms of the history, the kind of the mechanics of the language. It's definitely not a general English class, and is not designed for somebody with a low level of English in order to kind of improve their level of English. So if you did have a high command of English, that module could still be a challenge for you. I hope that makes sense.
Brilliant. Thank you. I think this one's one for yourself, Martin. How large are the classes?
We aim to have the classes at around the kind of 15, 16 mark. Occasionally it might be a couple more or a couple less, but it's around 15, 16 that we aim to kind of to have in the class. Certainly for the core modules. It might be at the higher end of that in terms of the subject modules in the afternoons.
Thank you. Whether you're providing IFP with joint CAS or a single CAS, for the IFP, it is a single CAS, but technically with the new UKVI rules and regulation, that doesn't really matter now, because once you pass your course, you can apply to renew your visa from the UK, where previously you had to return home to apply for your visa. So technically it doesn't really matter now, because you can apply from the UK as long as you've passed your foundation course and you have your certificates and etc. Could you tell us the tuition fee of the foundation again? I think we've been through this. So it's £13,000 after scholarship. And Martin, I need your help on this. So on this, they would start in January and finish in July?
Yeah, I mean, the September one would start late September and finish mid-May. The January one obviously starts in January and would finish in August.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Is it for single or dual CAS? Single CAS, but again, you can apply from the UK. Please speak to your business development manager for further information. I'm sure Noor or Faisal, who are based in Bangladesh, will help you out with that. Is there just a foundation program or a variety of foundation programs? I mean, for students who are interested to study different majors in the future, would they sit in one class regardless of their future desires?
They would certainly sit in the same core modules. So semester 1, English for University 1, English for University Study 2. In semester 2, the academic English. Those are core. No matter what you're studying in the future, you would be studying those three modules. Everything else would depend on what your future chosen degree was. So semester 1, it would be the business module. If it was a more arts-based, and by arts-based, I mean something like history, geography, English language, then it would be more the cultural elements.
Brilliant. Thank you. What are the entry criteria for this program? The entry criteria for the program, we assess it on academics and your English. So in terms of English, it's 4.5, no less than 4.5. In terms of academic, that varies country to country. So if you could please reach out to your business development manager in country, they can advise you on the entry level of the academics, because it is slightly lower than the direct entry of year 1. Dear team, the offer letter will be issued only for foundation. If I get offer foundation for visa renewal, do I have to come home again? Again, no. With the new rules in place, you don't have to come home. But you do need to pass your course. So as long as you pass your course and you have a completion certificate, you can apply to renew your visa from the UK. How early can we get a CAS? We're looking to get CASs out by November, end of November. So you have about 6 to 7 weeks to apply for your visas. If you can get through the process a lot earlier, then we would look at issuing you your CAS earlier as well. But it depends on how quickly you submitted your applications, you've sent in your documents, and we've assessed everything. So we would be looking to issue the CAS as soon as possible, but that depends on your file completion. Are students allowed to attend medical bachelor programs after passing the foundation year with high marks? Okay, so when we talk about medical, if it's medicine that you want to study, yes, you can, but there is a long process in terms of studying medicine in the UK. Seats are very limited, competition is very high, but yes, you can. You'll probably need to do additional courses to the foundation course, but in short, the answer is yes. I'm currently studying medicine in Nigeria. Can I continue my studies here at Canterbury without entering international programs? So the international foundation program is aimed at UG students. If you're already studying medicine, please do go onto the Canterbury website to have a look at the courses that are available, and if there's any that match your needs or what you're currently studying, then we can definitely have a look at that for you. What are the academic entry requirements for IFP in Pakistan? So it's 50% from your HSSC. As long as you've completed that with a minimum 50% pass rate, you can enter the IFP program. What academics requirements? So we've done that one. Again, same one. If password test result is overall 5.0, no less than 4.5 is accepted for IFY. No, unfortunately it's not. It's not a CELT. Just like password Duolingo, they're not a UKVI CELT. So you can have a look at the UKVI website for recognized CELTs. Anything under degree level does need to be a recognized CELT that's listed on the UKVI website. Is there any option for pre-sessional English? yes, we do run for January. We're running a 6 weeks pre-sessional English course that starts in October, end of October. For September, we do run a pre-sessional English course as well, dates to be confirmed. That will be for 6 weeks and 10 weeks. But if you're looking for a pre-sessional course on top of your foundation, then we don't, because the English is combined into your foundation degree. If any student has WIAC in 2000, is he eligible? How much is WIAC? The answer to that, for an English waiver, we don't accept WIAC to exempt for undergraduate student levels. For master levels, if you've completed your bachelor's degree in Nigeria and it was done in English mode of instructions, as long as we can have a confirmation on a letter-headed paper from the university, then we could look at exempting English based on your bachelor's for your master's. Is it required to show another bank statement and mature maintenance funds when applying from the UK to extend visa when progressing in a degree? So in terms of bank statements, yes, you do need to show bank statements. Maintenance funds, I'm not really too sure. I can double check with you. If you leave your details, we can come back to you on that and confirm. Is it required to show? So we've done that. Is there a late start date for January intake? Martin?
Well, there is a January intake, but I think I'm still waiting to confirm what the dates, what the date of this is going to be in January, because I need to check with Stephen Lammyman on that, I think.
Okay, sure, brilliant. MOI accepted for Pakistan for postgraduate? No, we don't accept MOIs from Pakistan for postgraduates. Thank you. That's all of the question. Kate, I've got a question for yourself. When you, as an international student, when you were looking for a university and a foundation provider, obviously you had many options available to you. What was the key deciding factor for you to choose Canterbury Christ Church University?
So for me, if I want to talk about that time, so I was in Canterbury once, and so yeah, I like the area. It was close to the sea, which I love sea, and it's a clean, lovely city, and the texture is just buildings, everything, the atmosphere, everything is just great. And we have a lovely river. So I just looked at the area. And when I came to the uni and I took the year, so I can tell better about the uni itself as well. So the location is just wonderful, as Martin was mentioning. And they are very supportive, to be honest. And whenever you need help, there is someone there for you, and it was always for me. And also about the library, for example, if I can say, whatever you need for studying, the space, even help, it's provided there. The uni itself is very nice, I can say that. And all the teachers, all the students are very friendly. I have had a great experience, I can say this. And as you said exactly, I don't think anyone who just come here for foundation year, they want to leave to other cities. That's impossible. I haven't seen even one person to say so. Anyway, yeah, there is a lovely university, and all the teachers are there always for us, and there are lots of helps, and the city itself is great. Great atmosphere, is lively, close to the sea, and cathedral, as Martin said. There are lots of positive points. I cannot just go through all of them.
Yeah, I think what makes Canterbury appealing is that you get to meet people. You get to meet people like Kay. Okay, I think that's what makes my job quite appealing as well, because Kay was a fantastic student to have on the IFP, the ideal IFP student.
Thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to be successful, as you said. You're so lovely. Without your help, Martin, and other teachers. I have always mentioned this, and I've been always honest about this. I'm so grateful for that, and it's been one of the most important things that has happened in my life. It's just life changing, and because it's very important when you want to enter to something, the first steps of that, they are very crucial. So how they are going to be performed, and who is responsible for that, if they are always there, the method they are teaching you, all these details, if you go deeper even, so you'll find out they are very important. So yeah, I'm so happy. Anyway, thank you so much again, Martin, for being great
It's
always.
an absolute pleasure, Kay, and to those who are kind of here today, it's just what you're thinking of doing, what you're planning to do is such a pivotal moment in your lives. It's a life-changing moment, and no matter where you go, it's I kind of admire what you are planning to do, and I think it's I always kind of think about there's a very famous speech by is it Steve Jobs of Apple, and he was talking about how you join the dots sometimes in your life, and I think this idea of planning to study in another country in a language that's not your own, it's one of those moments where you look back and it's one of those dots where suddenly a life the direction you take changes. So well done for kind of thinking about what you're going to do with your studies in the future.
Thank you so
Brilliant.
much.
Thank you, Kay. We've just got a few more minutes. I've just got a couple of more questions that I'm going to just whiz through. In terms of internal English tests for PG students, no, we don't. Is their program compulsory for international students? Again, the answer is no, but it depends on your English level and your academic qualifications. And in certain countries, you do need to do a foundation program to get into a UG. For example, Nigeria, if you've only done WIAC, you must complete a foundation program to get into an undergraduate degree. Do you have on-campus accommodation facilities? Yes, we do. For foundation and UG students, on-campus accommodation is guaranteed. And there are plenty of options ranging from 5 minutes walk to 10 to 15 minutes walk from the university itself. Accepting Indian class 12 standard English? Yes, we do. But again, that depends on the states that you're from. There's certain states that we don't. So please, again, if you leave your details, we can get in touch with you, or you can speak to our business development managers in India, who we have based in West India, North in Delhi, and then South India as well. Jandy, I think we're going to wrap it up from there, because it's gone over the 1 hour. But I'd like to, first of all, thank Martin for joining us today and doing this session. And I'm sure we'll have a lot more sessions going forward as we start recruiting for September as well. But thank you very much, Martin, and thank you, Kay, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank
And to all of the students and all of our partners that have joined us today, thank you for joining us. We really look forward to welcoming you to Canterbury Christ Church University in January. Look, it's a great place to study. A key advantage of studying at Canterbury Christ Church University, studying the foundation course over any other foundation providers, is it's run by the university itself. It's not run by a partner. It's not run by a private group. You will be a student of the university from day one. You'll be interacting with all of the students. You're going to have a student ID card. You're going to be meeting the university lecturers and etc. So it is a great place to be. I've been to Canterbury many times myself, and it's a beautiful place. And another question that comes up in terms of location, yes, it's not far from London. It's about 1 hour on the train, but you would need to live in Canterbury or close by to Canterbury to study the foundation degree. But please, again, if you have any other questions, please reach out to the business development managers or myself, and we'll help you with your applications or any queries you have.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, everyone, for joining the session and being so patient. I hope we all have tried answering all your questions. But like Mohammed said, if there are any questions which are not answered, please do contact your respective business development managers or the student advisors. They are definitely going to help you to finish your applications for January intake. Special thanks to Martin and Kay for joining us for this session. And definitely this session is going to help us and to the upcoming students. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.